was born and raised in Ecuador. I grew up in Quito. That's in the mountains, one of the highest capitals in the world. My mom is one of 13 siblings. So to me, that meant that living in a community is very important. In Ecuador, it's an extremely diverse country. Also, it's one of the most unequal countries in Latin America. And Latin America is the most unequal continent in the world. You are raised and you see those differences. And to me, those differences and those gaps are unacceptable. There is a power imbalance. Why should the place where you are born dictate whether you have a voice or not, whether you have a choice or not? Individuals, families, communities, countries should have agency over their decisions. And that starts by recognizing that the Global South is important and should be at the table. And IBP can definitely be an actor, and it can shift the role it plays in promoting that over the long term. To me, it was very important to find a career where I could combine mathematics and analytical skills with a way to solve social problems. And economics is the perfect way to do it. So I worked, before even finishing college, as an economic advisor for a congressman in Ecuador. And he represented in the National Assembly one of the poorest provinces in Ecuador. This province is located in the Amazon, and that's where most of the oil that Ecuador produces comes from. And this is still now one of the poorest provinces in the country. So being able to both be at the public policy-making center in the assembly and working with congressmen, but also traveling to the most remote areas in the country and seeing how communities live and don't benefit from resources that are coming from underneath their own communities really clicked for me. I worked for 10 years at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. I focused on measuring the racial wealth gap and then thinking about how to close that racial wealth gap. And that changed my life forever. When you see those inequalities and how much public policy has driven those inequalities, it's something that it becomes almost like your mission in life. Behind those numbers and behind those charts and behind those gaps, there's people who their lives are marked by where they're born. This is intergenerational. It's not just about the present. It's about acknowledging that this has been happening over time. And in many cases, this has happened intentionally. After having a dream job, we decided as a family I could do more in my home country. I was very lucky that I found FARO, which is a think tank in Ecuador.
Señor presidente, señores asambleístas, a continuación tendremos la intervención de Ana Patricia Muñoz, directora ejecutiva del Grupo FARO.
Buenos días, muchas gracias, señor presidente. Buenos días, señores y señoras asambleístas. Muchas gracias por la invitación de acoger a FARO, que es un centro de investigación y acción que busca generar evidencia para incidir en las políticas públicas y construir una sociedad más equitativa, más justa, más sostenible.
Over the past 5 years that I've been there, our education program has grown from working with 17 schools to working with 50 schools. Those are 60,000 kids whose lives are touched by this transformational educational program that we work with and that FARO's team implements. I am extremely proud of that. Every time I go to the school and I see the kids, you see those results. It's tangible. And as I tell the team, all the things that seem impossible, we've made it possible. That combination of experiences and getting the satisfaction of seeing real impact allowed me to think about the next step, which was bringing all of that at the global stage. IBP is uniquely positioned to have a real impact at the global stage, to work at the national and regional level, and to have an impact at the local level, to push for data-driven decisions, and to work with the same energy and importance and passion to bring the knowledge from the ground up, to bring those voices from the Global South to the main stage of decision-making. I think that's very important. I am Ana Patricia, IBP's new Executive Director.